Charles Hoskinson recently had a fascinating visit to SpaceX and called for the entire crypto space to unite around the initiative Operation Choke Point. Why Cardano's all-time high is within reach and why you should possibly take advantage of the correction phase now, as well as the drawing today and a new Advent door being opened together with BitMEX. You will learn all of this in the video. Ow, it's amazing how much we have planned. So we dive right in. On our channel, you will find exciting new projects, news about the current market situation, and fact-based analysis of scams. If you are interested in these topics, feel free to leave a free subscription, and if you want to protect yourself to the maximum, we have prepared a free 8-point checklist for you. To find out how to get it, check the description. Now for the morning, look at the chart. That looks almost like the current form of government in Germany. What's going on there? Well, this is a completely normal correction phase, so that's perfectly fine. And you can also notice with Bitcoin, I explained it in yesterday's video, the tendency is that a short correction downwards will follow, and you can see that here as well. For those who don't care at all, this is XRP again. The price is currently at 235. Completely crazy. We also published a video about it 2 days ago and laid out where it could go, whether one should still get in or how it is. Feel free to click here for the video. Definitely when you look at the rest, yes, Solana is also downshifting a bit, but that's perfectly fine as well. BNB a bit further down. Cardano, despite everything, is also quite up by over 2%, which is why we will take a closer look at it today. We have already made a video about it, but as I said, corrections are absolutely part of such market phases. So please don't be afraid at this point. These are more indicators of who has the weekends now and sells quickly here, and who is thinking and saying, no, now more than ever, I will take the correction. One must not forget what massive price jumps have happened here alone in the last few weeks. Even when you look at the monthly evaluation here, hey, we are currently down 0.16% in December. So nothing has really happened yet. So we are completely at the beginning of the month, so let's wait and see what happens in the coming days. Even when you look at the fear and greed index here, doesn't look unhealthy either. So 80, yes, is a high value, but it has already cooled down a bit, if I remember correctly. Yesterday we were around 83 or something. Here's a quick look at the liquidation heat map. And yes, it's exciting. As I mentioned yesterday, liquidity is being picked up. If you look at the last 24 hours here, it is currently trending downwards. Maybe we will go back to the value and pick it up. However, nevertheless, still not around the K, but as expected, liquidity has built up again up here. So it's relatively realistic that this won't be the longest correction. If we look at the 12-hour view now, yes, you can see it clearly again. Something is happening up here, but there is still a lot of wood down here. So it would be realistic that this will simply be picked up. We will see. And here you can also notice a clear shift. So we are now at 78 in the ratio between Bitcoin season and altcoin season. When you think about what was happening a few days ago, it's really crazy. However, as crazy as it sounds, we are not yet in an overheated market. So it could also be that if Bitcoin comes back, the value will slide back a bit. We definitely have an altcoin season if you look at XRP, Cardano, etc. Only the small caps that we are waiting for are still outstanding. So yes, there was a doubling and that's all very nice, but these crazy X numbers, because the small caps still don't have a large market cap, as the name suggests, is something different here. So I am very curious to see how much the value will shoot up now. But even when you look back historically, for example, at the last bull run, so we were around 94, at times it was even around 100. So 78 is still within a reasonable range. And before we get to Cardano, a quick note about a project that we have been following for quite a while now. We were even the first German-speaking channel to report on it. There is now also a new listing on a new exchange. So you can also see that things are moving forward, a lot is happening. And still this project, it is a tokenization project, Sustainable Technologies, a company that is being tokenized. You can have a share in it, there are test facilities, etc. We have already seen all of this live and informed ourselves about it. We also recently conducted an interview with CEO Holger Kuhlmann and talked about what the current status is. Feel free to click here for the video. What I want to tell you at this point is that if you are considering investing there, it is independent of a bull run. We are talking about a completely different asset here. So this is more about sustainability, so on. Of course, this may gain some traction during a bull run, but one must not forget, we are talking about tokenization, a real-world asset. This means it has nothing to do with the crypto space as such. The blockchain is used as a vehicle just like with tokens, NFTs, etc. So feel free to check it out. Team has also clearly communicated that nothing will happen before mid-next year, but it can still be very exciting. And now let's move on directly right away and come to Cardano. And as you can see here, there is a bit of correction involved. Overall, it's not exactly severe what can be stated here. So if you also look at the complete view, it's quite wild. Of course, we all want to see that and beyond, and we will now clarify what the forecasts are, what one can expect, whether one should still get in, rather wait. But you can definitely see a certain correction which makes the whole thing quite more attractive. I have now also called up the chart from my partner exchange BitMEX. Well, what can one say? It's really a picture book that Cardano has laid out, similar to XRP, which suddenly came back from obscurity. I also hold ADA myself, so I don't want to sound too biased. We are obviously not paid by the project to report on it, but that should be clear to everyone. However, it looks like this here. I personally never thought that this thing would just come back like that. By the way, if you're looking for a cool exchange to trade, BitMEX, we also have the advent calendar together. The announcement of the winner will be coming soon. Yesterday's drawing makes more sense. And there will be a new contest for tomorrow. However, either way, if you register through our link, you will receive a $25 trading voucher. So feel free to use that if you're interested. What we are going to look at again regarding ADA is a tool that I now use almost daily, namely Altcoin. It provides you with certain chart patterns. On one hand, you can pull out all the details and see the possible forecasts. Let's remove that, then you'll see it better. Yes, it continues to go up, enters the correction phase, and so on. By the way, you can also get some coin tips here at the Research Hub. So I also check in there from time to time because it is explained based on charts. And of course, you can also take a detailed look at the use case. But now let's go back to the crypto screener and pull out ADA here and see what all the indicators of this tool are saying. So the RSI is already quite high. Now, of course, we have to see whether it potentially goes down further or continues to rise. If it continues to rise, everything here is in the overbought zone, but it has been like that for some time now, I must add. All in all, one is quite bullish about it. So, yes, it can be very exciting. I will soon get to further predictions about what other tools and media outlets are saying. But before we get to that, let's first look at why this massive increase occurred and what it is due to. Just briefly about altcoins. If you want to use the tool, check the description. You can use it for free. There is also a Black Friday offer, so you might want to take a look, as you can test it for free at first. But if you then say you would like to use it long term, well, then take a look at it. We have secured a 50% deal, but during Black Friday there seems to be up to 60% off. So you can choose whether to pay monthly, annually, or to buy the entire tool outright. I personally see it as very powerful and find the purchase price in relation to what you can get out of it quite exciting. So as I said, feel free to use it, check it out, try it for yourself. We'll also keep presenting and using it here. Now let's move on directly to what the first bullish point is, which is of course that Robinhood has added XRP, Solana, Cardano, and Pepe again. This all happened in the wake, shortly after the presidential election, when a decision was made to set aside all these disputes. The advantage with Robinhood is simply that there are many retailers involved, which could have led to a significant amount of volume flowing into Cardano. So it definitely worked. More than well with these three candidates here. So if you look at XRP, Solana, Cardano, they have really skyrocketed. But what other news was there? Away from that, perhaps some may not have noticed, Charles Hoskinson had a visit to SpaceX, and there were apparently talks with Musk, but this is all still under NDA. Yes, possibly Cardano is going to the moon one way or another. So aside from whether the price is rising, that wordplay had to be there. However, wild speculation is now being stirred up about what exactly was discussed, currently still under NDA. He wants to talk about it when he can. And now I want to show you a few controversial topics where you can also see that a lot of hype is building up. I have two reports for you, and interestingly, they are from the same day. The media is already talking about this. Yes, Cardano's CEO will be a crypto advisor to President Trump. That is already quite certain. When you look at the same day in the article, it says he wants to, and we shouldn't forget that at this point. So wild speculations are always being made. One person says everything is safe, while the other says he actually just wants to. The hype is certainly not diminished, so one says, yes, wait a moment, if Hoskinson becomes an advisor under Trump, wow, wild NR. On the other hand, this could definitely have a positive impact, especially since Cardano has always positioned itself very well, with no discussions with the SEC, etc. So let's wait and see, but I still want to say at this point, my latest information is that he would like to, but nothing has been confirmed yet. So if you know more about it, feel free to write in the comments, but that's all for now. By the way, a big thank you for what is happening on this channel. It's crazy how many clicks, likes, and comments are coming in. Wow, really strong. Therefore, if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up. It helps boost the algorithm, and also write a short comment. Around 10 words. The algorithm likes that, by the way. It's also part of the upcoming giveaway. Just notice that many who watch the videos are not subscribed. So if you count yourself among them, feel free to type away, leave a short subscription. Feel free to subscribe to the bell so you won't miss any important news, especially when we talk about hidden gems. So I also presented a few exciting AI agent projects yesterday. And if you're interested in not missing out on something that could possibly bring you a lot, or investment advice here, feel free to click in here. And last but not least, and now it gets exciting, Charles Hoskinson has called for the entire crypto space to unite. Those are exciting words, especially since this gentleman has often shot against Bitcoin, saying it's just a religion and has nothing to do with the currency. He heavily criticized XRP back then when it was about the previous acquittal before the SEC went to court again, where Charles Hoskinson clearly stated that what Ripple is doing doesn't fit at all. So it's quite interesting when you look at this and say, especially this person is now calling for it. However, it must be said that he has publicly apologized to Bitcoin, Ripple, Solana, and all these communities. And I find that interesting, but it may also have another underlying hint, which frankly is quite wild. His tweet may also potentially be due to the recently emerging discussions surrounding Operation Choke Point. Now you might be wondering, as I am at this point, what is this all about again? And that's really crazy to note at this point. So it seems to be an initiative under the Biden administration, where crypto companies have had to and still have to deal with massive headwinds. And there have been a few disclosures where one might say, holy, holy, holy. So at this point, we are all glad that Gensler is gone, Biden is out. So this should definitely bring a lot more calm to the whole situation. But that's really pretty intense. There was actually just a podcast with Joe Rogan where this was recently discussed. And yes, what should we say about it? We are just glad that it is different now. And therefore, such tweets from people like Charles Hoskinson, who call for unity and say, hey guys, let's unite and fight together, should really be understood by many out there. Don't fall in love with a cryptocurrency at first sight. Instead, let's grow together. Because when the crypto space grows, your favorite cryptocurrency will grow as well, but many others will too. Diversification has generally, at least until now, not harmed anyone, and it won't be different in the future. And now let's talk about the price predictions, as they indeed vary widely. So we pulled a tweet here, but we are talking about around 1.18 for the mentioned reasons, because at this point, one might say, well, many of the early investors, like for example, even they are already significantly in the plus, and now they want to realize profits at some point. That is at least advisable, because otherwise you only made a lot of money on paper, but in the end you never realized it. There are also many candidates for this where greed eventually wins and continues on and on and on. I will also make a separate video on how the mentioned exit strategy should be. Personally, I still maintain my opinion, but here we are talking about 1.18. Everything above that is, according to this tweet, currently hard to imagine. The whole thing can also go differently. We have taken out a forecast here, so we are, with our just over $3, quite conservatively at an all-time high. Here we are talking minimally about $1.18. However, one could also imagine that we go up to nearly $6. That would be quite nice, and we would be well above the all-time high. Interestingly, in 2025, one suddenly finds oneself back at 0.66. Well, it will probably depend on when in 2025. On the other hand, the maximum is then significantly higher. So how trustworthy these forecasts are and what analyses they are based on, I unfortunately cannot answer you right now. So I also want to always call for caution at this point, not to blindly trust any forecasts out there. I would leave it. In the end, no one knows. So at this point, no one can tell you how the price will behave. From a forecasting perspective, I say yes, we are in an altcoin season. However, we are not yet in overheating. Such corrections are part of it, and I also like to sit them out. This could be right or wrong in the future. We will see. Now let's get to the drawing of the giveaway, and I will set this box aside for a moment. We will get to what else you can win shortly. This is yesterday's video, which already got good clicks. Especially with such hidden games, you should definitely watch them in a timely manner and then make a decision, because otherwise it is often too late. There were definitely a few comments underneath, so we will copy that out here. Put it in here and load the whole thing. Yes, and congratulations at this point, Peter. Peter, you have won with what I personally find to be a very, very cool comment. Would like to read it out briefly. Good morning, Master. I have only been following your videos for a short time, but I like the tips and analyses. Please keep it up. Thank you very much for the feedback. It means an incredible lot to me personally, as I put a lot of heart and soul into this channel. So it's really cool when it is appreciated like that. I'm also personally happy that you have won now. By the way, 150 BitMax tokens. It's best to send me a short message on Telegram. I will show how you can win there, how it all works. And now let's get to the new drawing. Who can win tomorrow? And for that, we will bring the box back. Let's carefully open it up here and gently take out a letter, slowly. So, closed again, pushed to the side. There is the envelope, originally sealed and closed. And then, what kind of adhesive tape is that? And then let's take a look inside here. There is a bit of chocolate again. And we have here 100, 150, 160, 165. 165, it's cool. Or rather, 165 BitMax tokens that you can win. How can you win? For one, feel free to write a comment down below. I also appreciate it just for the sake of it. If you write a comment. And also feel free to leave a like. It should boost the algorithm. If the exchange is to be longer and more extensive and you want to hear voices from the community, then feel free to join our Telegram group. Link in the description. See you in the next video, which will be released tomorrow. Until then, all the best. Bye.